If you don't know me yet, is Christy Holmes, and I want to thank you for spending a bit of your Monday afternoon with us. Love the discussion about pie, but I'm also pleased to welcome you to today's presentation on success coaching at Central Carolina Community College. And the Student Success Center team will be presenting a topic that's very important to all of us, success coaching, fostering student success through faculty partnerships. So if you don't already know our phenomenal coaching team, you will be hearing from Jennifer Babb, Trayvon Campbell, Alex Kappas, and Candace Solis. So again, thank you so much for coming. Welcome, and I will turn it over to the team.
Thank you, Christy. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our session, Success Coaching, Fostering Student Success Through Faculty Partnerships. We are excited to share with you information about success coaching and how we can partner to foster student success. But before we do that, we want to let the Success Coach team introduce themselves and share a little bit about themselves as well as the programs that they serve. First up is Jennifer.
Hey guys, welcome to our session. I am Jennifer Babb, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. I am a success coach for a variety of the programs here at CC, from college transfer to early childhood education. I've had the privilege to work in education for the last 7 years in different capacities. Serving as an advocate for students and helping them move towards their academic goals is by far my favorite part of being a success coach. So we're glad to have you today, and we're going to let Trey introduce himself.
Trey is unable to be here right now, so I'll just go ahead and give him a brief intro. He is a success coach for the CTE programs. He's been with us since January, and he is excited to serve and support those students.
Hi everyone, my name is Alex Kappas. The pronouns I use are he, him, and his, and I'm the success coach serving the health sciences and human services programs at the college. And I'm also a PhD candidate in higher adult and lifelong education at Michigan State. I joined the CCCC community in August, so this topic is really important to me because despite us living in this world where it's mostly remote and virtual, I feel like I've been able to make quite a few really great connections with faculty. So, and hopefully we'll be able to share some of those tips and tricks and ways that we collaborate.
Thanks, Alex. My name is Candace Solis, and I am the Director of Student Success. I have the honor and privilege to serve as a team lead for the Success Coach team. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I directly serve the Minority Male Success Initiative students, Step Up Scholars, as well as the students studying under the Criminal Justice Technology and Paralegal Curriculum-based programs here at CCCC. As an experienced instructor and coach, I understand the importance of engaging students and fostering faculty partnerships. I am excited to share with you today.
Thank you, Candace. My name is Trayvon Campbell. I am the CTE success coach here at Central Carolina. I started in January, so I'm fairly new, but I definitely am glad to be a part of the team. I've gained a lot of information and knowledge, and I definitely am someone who enjoys working with students and student success and helping them really reach their goals and really get to where they need to get to. So I definitely am glad to be a part of this team, and definitely glad to bring you and provide you with information and details today about what we as a success coach team bring to CTCC.
Thanks, Trey. All right, so we're going to jump into today's learning objectives. We have 4 main ones. So the first one is learn about the success coach model that we utilize at Central Carolina. Learn how Aviso is utilized by success coaches to identify and provide outreach to at-risk students. Learn how we partner with faculty to engage in academic intervention and student support. And lastly, learn about coaching techniques that help support overall student success. The Success Coach team will also be answering questions that you may have throughout the presentation in the chat box. So feel free to ask questions along the way. They will also be supplying links to resources that will be mentioned throughout. So a great way to jump into today's discussion is to start with what is success coaching. Success coaching is all about unlocking our students' potential and providing the necessary tools to excel in the academic setting and beyond. That is why this quote is perfect. Coaching is about unlocking potential in order to maximize potential. It's about bringing out the best in people. We aim to do just that as success coaches. The use of an intrusive advising, appreciative advising, and providing an individualized coaching experience, we are able to provide student support at the highest level for our students here at CCCC. So how do we do it? Our work is guided by 5 core pillars of success coaching. Success coaches engage, connect, educate, motivate, and empower. We engage. Our coaches engage with a set caseload of students, support the first year experience, help students get acclimated to college life, align expectations, and provide continuous engagement throughout their entire academic career here at Central Carolina. They connect. Success coaches generate a genuine connection with the students on their caseload. They help get them connected to both campus and community resources and to the academic tools needed for success. Coaches also ask students to transfer options and expose them to various higher education opportunities. They educate. Coaches educate students by providing skill building and academic success workshops to foster student development and growth. They motivate. Our coaches also send encouraging messages, create motivational videos, and make a point to cheer on academic and personal life achievements. Lastly, they empower. They empower students by providing career exploration tips and opportunities, supporting goal setting, and challenging them in dream exploration. Simply put, coaches are dedicated to providing student support and the fostering of overall student success. Success coach myth versus reality. So now that we are no longer under the umbrella of the First in the World grant, we have begun the work of redefining who we are as a program and as a team. Although we are continuing to build and will continue to build, clearing up any misunderstandings or misconceptions will help to facilitate a stronger understanding of our role and duties here at CCCC. So the first one is unqualified to truly help students academically. The reality is that we are qualified, educated, and dedicated. Our coaches combined have over 20 years of experience in the field of education, serving and supporting students in many different capacities. Our combined experience provides an ability to serve our very diverse student body and student needs. In fact, with every addition to the team, we aspire to add team members with unique backgrounds that add to our combined skill set in order to ensure our students get the best in coaching support overall. Small student lists and workloads. The reality is that we have large student lists and workloads. Our coaches typically serve 500 students or more on average. Last semester, I myself served 800 students. Students from different programs have different needs. So for example, a coach serving students that are part of a competitive admissions program may have additional duties that are required to support that type of student. Our coaches not only support students on their individual caseload, but have often been tasked with outreach and retention efforts campus-wide. Along with many other tasks, our coaches are also instructors on both the curriculum and non-curriculum side. Simply put, we stay very busy. The third one is coaches only send emails. The reality is that we utilize various outreach methods, and telephone is our first attempted outreach approach. Success coaches build relationships with students while addressing a range of student needs that encompass academic, career, personal, financial, goal planning, health, and well-being. This requires different approaches for different situations for different students. So as you know, it can be hard sometimes to get with our students, and sometimes they don't respond to our calls. But we follow up with an email, text, video, postcard, anything that we need to do to ensure that the information they need is passed along. What we have found is, though, even though they may not respond all the time, they are seeing and receiving that information. And as far as alerts go, our first attempted approach is always reaching out via telephone. And lastly, a coach has not contacted my student in a long time per a visa note. The reality is, as coaches, we understand Aviso notes are a part of the student's academic record. We also know that Aviso is a tool that faculty and staff utilize to attain information that will aid in overall student support. Our documentation practices keep academic record integrity in mind. So if the student has been actively coached, you will see a note in there. If we've talked to a student, there will be a note. If we've reached out to them 5 times and they never respond, you may see one note that signifies that. So it's going to vary how we document things, but we are being purposeful with our note-taking in Aviso. It is also important to know that Aviso does not track all of the work that our coaches do, but it does keep track of the active engagement. So how do coaches actually foster student success on a day-to-day basis? So recently, the team sat down with a lead instructor from a program here at Central Carolina to learn all about their program and how we can best support their students. At the end of this information session, she asked a simple question that allowed each coach to share what it is that they do in a nutshell to support their students best. What was awesome for me from the leadership perspective is, one, I got to hear all the amazing things that my colleagues do independently, but two, I also heard our coaches share uniquely different responses. One coach emphasized a goal-centered approach. Another spoke on the importance of student motivation and encouragement. Another spoke about structured coaching sessions and active engagement techniques, and so on and so on. After listening to our team, it was then that I realized why it is sometimes difficult to truly explain to others what we do as coaches. The reality is we provide an individualized, education-based coaching experience. Our interactions and support is holistic and geared towards meeting the student's individual needs. So there's not one coaching template that a coach must follow. We base our service on what the student needs most because each student is different, so one shoe does not fit all. Coaching provides a sense of belonging for our students. So we learn and use students' names, get to know them personally, know their personal and academic goals, develop success plans needed, articulate high standards paired with support for when students struggle, express feedback, and encourage the student along their academic pathway. Creating an individualized experience is critical to our overall success. Motivate. Motivation matters to our students' success. Motivation affects learning, and it's key in persistence. One of the key differences between people who do and don't succeed is not their ability level, but their effort and motivation levels. Success coaching provides an avenue to directly encourage and motivate students. We provide year-round student motivation and encouragement during coaching appointments, via texting campaigns, emails, YouTube videos that we create, digital postcards. If it exists and it can motivate our students, we're going to do it. These efforts help to energize, direct, and sustain behavior. Each of us has our own unique way of doing this. So Jennifer Babb uses a unique creative connection to help motivate and set her students' mindset for success every week. Jennifer, can you share a little bit about Motivational Mondays?
Absolutely. Thanks for asking me to present on this short topic. It is definitely one of the things that I enjoy most about being a success coach and being a motivator for our students. So positive affirmations for success is important, and I believe when done consistently and properly, they can promote courage and positivity towards achieving a student's academic goals. As Candace mentioned, one way we promote positive affirmations is through Motivational Mondays. These are words of encouragement sent out weekly to students as a reminder to keep pushing towards those academic goals and stay on that academic career path that they have. It is creating a mindset that through consistent encouragement, they can do anything. As stated, consistency is key. Students look forward to these emails weekly. For sometimes it is the encouragement they need to start off their week on the right foot. For others, it may be the motivation they need to keep pushing forward. No matter the need, it is a great way to make connections with your students through positive reinforcement. Obviously, if you would ever like some examples of these, I would be happy to share. You can email me. But again, these are a great way to get your students started out each week. I joke with them a lot that a lot of times these motivational emails are more for me than them. But it just really breaks down that barrier and is a great way to connect with your students weekly.
Thank you, Jennifer. So one of the ways we support student development and growth is through providing academic success and skill building workshops. Our success workshops are designed to teach students general study, skill building, college transition preparedness, and career readiness skills, which are applicable to all courses and programs of study. We meet one-on-one with students to address these topics, but we also offer group success workshop presentations. The workshops are facilitated by our coaches, but we also partner with faculty and our Academic Assistance Center to ensure our students get the best. Our workshops are offered in and outside of the classroom. Faculty can request a success coach visit the classroom virtually to offer skill building workshops and training to foster student success generally, or they can request a custom training to meet a specific need that will aid in the success of their particular students. For example, we had an adjunct instructor who noticed that his students were struggling a little bit with time management, and he reached out to the team and requested whatever materials we had for his class, and we provided that directly to him, and that was our distinct pleasure to support his class and the needs that they were having at that particular time. We also offer professional development for faculty and staff to share tools and tips for supporting student success. We present at conferences and submit proposals for presentations year-round. If you are ever interested in receiving a specific training, we will do our best to provide that resource. Lastly, another big part of our day-to-day task when fostering student success is to engage in academic intervention. Success coaches deliver proactive and just-in-time interventions that help students to become resilient problem solvers as they learn to balance work, family responsibilities, and financial challenges. As you know, data suggests that success coaching contributes to higher rates of retention, completion of developmental courses, and the accumulation of credits. Our coaches meet one-on-one with students and provide guidance towards overall academic success. They assist in the navigation of academic challenges and provide feedback, resources, and redirection when needed. Alex Kappas uses a 15-minute coaching appointment to aid in intervention. Alex, do you mind sharing a little bit about that format?
Absolutely, Candace. So I've had a lot of success over the course of the year convincing students to set up a 15-minute appointment with me, either through Google Meet or via phone. I use Calendly, which is a scheduling app that makes it easier for students to pick a day and a time. My hope is to make as contact with as many students as possible, specifically those who are maybe hesitant about meeting with a success coach. They might think that, oh, that's only if, I'm in trouble, I need to meet with a success coach. So the 15-minute length is really intended to make the meeting as low barrier of an event as possible. The number of students who's, talk about how busy they are, they're juggling family, they're juggling work, they're juggling school, but 15 minutes, can you find 15 minutes? And been able to secure quite a few appointments every single week through this model. And then what I've done is that I provide a 15-minute buffer at the end of the appointment in case we are having a really great conversation that goes longer. I usually ask when I hit 15 minutes, I've got another 15 minutes. If you're free, I'm free. And the student usually, I would say 9 times out of 10 says, yep, yeah, I'm free. I can still keep chatting. And so those 15-minute meetings end up turning into 30-minute appointments. But I always do a follow-up appointment, and those typically are up to an hour. So the goals of the 15-minute coaching session are really to establish that rapport and connection. It's one thing to be getting emails and texts, but to be able to hear a voice and see a face, even over the screen, is really, really important. I'm in that 15 minutes, I'm able to really garner what the barriers or some of the concerns that the student might be facing. I also make sure that I offer really tangible resources and things that can help that student immediately, so that it makes them want to come back and chat with me about other ideas and tips and tricks. I always suggest next steps that they can take, and then, like I said, I create like a recap of our conversation. The meetings are structured around the appreciative advising model. So that's build rapport, evoke awareness, facilitate action, and accountability. I always use open-ended questioning, and really the goal is to hopefully within that meeting help students realize how helpful success coaching can be. Much like our faculty, for students, this might be the first time they've ever heard of a success coach. So really helping introduce what that is and offering really practical tips, strategies, and advice. I have a bank of kind of tips and for all different responses, right? If they're talking about test anxiety, I pull from kind of a bank of ideas and strategies with that. I always, just ask for that follow-up. What are we going to do to make sure that you implement some of these things? I'll go ahead and share kind of a structure of that 15-minute meeting in the chat, just in case folks are kind of curious to see what that looks like. But yeah, that's it. Thanks, Candace.
Thanks, Alex. And we also utilize Avizo to help in our efforts when it comes to academic intervention. So how do we leverage Avizo to assist in academic intervention? Avizo is one of our greatest tools that we utilize when it comes to academic intervention. The features that we coaches utilize on a regular basis are key engagements, persistence bands, tasks, and alerts. I want to walk through each one of these quickly to show you a little bit about those tools. All right, so we'll go to the next slide. Awesome. So this is a screenshot of a dashboard to kind of show you what it would look like from the coach's side. The key engagements, let's talk about that one first. The key engagements help us track the last time we spoke or worked with a particular student and allows us to check in with those that may have had a longer lapse in one-on-one communication. It is designed to help us make sure no student falls through the cracks of communication and make sure that they get the support that they need. And so it's right there in the middle of that screen. Typically what it would look like, it would be a student's name, it would be their ID number, and it would be a date that indicates the last time that they were actively coached. So as coaches, we'll review that section and make sure that there are no students that have not been contacted in a fairly regular basis. And so we check that on our dashboard. Persistence bands is the next thing that I want to talk about, or tool that we utilize, because they're really important. They're on the previous screen. There we go. They're really important in academic intervention. So Avizo has a statistical configuration that indicates a student's persistence risk. They are broken down into low, medium, and high for course completion and then overall persistence. So we proactively reach out to these groups to offer assistance, resources, and support. Our procedure is to address the medium risk, which is the yellow. We address those first, the high risk and the low risk. And then we check in utilizing the persistence bands throughout the year. So some days it may look like, let's go ahead and click on all of the medium risk students. Let's review those students, how they're doing that semester, what their grades are looking at like. If there are students that are looking as if they may be in more academic jeopardy, we may do some directed outreach to that particular individual, or we may address that entire group who are at risk. And so we can use the persistence bands to really curtail some specific intervention efforts for our students. All right, so we'll go to the next screen and we'll talk about task, the task function. function. The next feature that is important to share is the task feature. We utilize this to assist in the facilitation of the continuity of our communication and service for our students. So we can set a task to follow up on small or large matters, such as a follow-up on how tutoring is going, or to see whether the student has utilized the time management techniques provided. We can also set tasks to follow up on personal matters that are important to the student, such as earning an A on the midterm. So we can set the task to pop up on the day of the midterm and send them an encouraging message to cheer them on. Or we can also send them a message or put a reminder to celebrate their success in completion of that goal. So we can also connect a task to another department, such as a follow-up with the Career Center. These tasks are not noted in the notes section of Avizo, so faculty and staff would not necessarily know that those tasks are there, but they are there for us as reminders to assist us in the continuity of our service and support for students. And lastly, I want to talk about the alerts. And of course, on this screen, it's going to be at the top. So if you are a success coach and you're opening up your Avizo dashboard, your alert section is definitely going to be a little bit more plentiful than what is here on this screenshot. They will be different alerts that are there. The ones that are going to be at the top are our alerts that are set by our faculty. But that's what it's going to look like on our end. As coaches, we do receive various Avizo alerts from faculty and staff on a daily basis. The alerts can be for behavioral problems, attendance, and grade academic concerns. Over the weekend, I even received an alert for a student whose parent passed away, and I was notified utilizing the alerts. So alerts come from many directions. And our number one task for any day is to address the academic alerts. If there are attendance alerts or grade alerts, we must first decipher the accuracy and urgency of the alert. Attendance and grade alerts may not always be as accurate due to it may not have the most up-to-date information at that time. And then also technology is fallible. So we have to do a little digging and make sure that the alerts are accurate, and then we follow up with the appropriate outreach. If they are faculty alerts, we read the faculty notes and address the needs as indicated in a variety of ways. We reach out via telephone, meeting face-to-face virtually, set up follow-up appointments, provide resources, provide encouragement, etc. We address the faculty concerns through our individualized coaching experience. After addressing any alert, we create a note documenting what we have done. If we are unable to connect with the student in real time, we close the alert within 24 to 48 hours, indicating what we were able to do, which is, in the very minimum, send an email or text. But we continue to try to connect in real time in order to be most effective in our service and support to students. Through the use of Avizo's key engagements, tasks, persistence bands, and alerts, we are able to serve our students and intervene when needed most. Thank you, Alex, so much for going between those screens for me. So faculty partnerships. We cannot be successful in our roles or accomplish all that we want to do and aim to do without faculty support. We are partners in student success. So here's a simple graphic that shows how all things flow together when partnering in student success. Now I want to walk you through each specific way that we can partner with you in supporting all of our students together. First things first, tag us in. We just talked about alerts a little bit. This means please notify us that a student is in need via Avizo. We don't know what we don't know. And we often get email messages requesting student support. This is great, and we are always happy to follow up. But there is a system in place that already facilitates timely student communication and outreach. Please utilize alerts to refer students to us directly. And post First in the World grant, all curriculum students can be referred and directed to us without restriction. Collaboration. So we aim to continue building a culture of collaboration between faculty and success coaches. When we work together, we create a better learning experience for our students. Faculty consultation is important as we are able to gain insight into a specific student's needs and explore new territory for providing student support. Through information sharing and continued communication regarding the student's plans for success, we are able to support them in tandem with you. Simply put, we need to hear more from you. Please don't hesitate to reach out and set a meeting with the coach assigned to your program. One-on-one meetings with coaches can help us to better understand your students' needs and what is expected of them in your class. Also, if you have noticed one of your students lacks motivation, shows up late, misses classwork, please raise an alert. Once you raise the alert and the alert has been closed, you can follow up with an additional alert or make a note in a VISO indicating any updates that could facilitate a follow-up on our end. We too read the notes in a VISO and it further aids us in student support. You could also create your own VISO task that connects us to an action item requested of your student so that we can support them in the follow-up. Another example is if you noticed more than one student seems to have the same question, let's say about how to create a PowerPoint presentation for a big class project. You could reach out and request a special workshop or session for your students to walk them through its features outside of class time. Another way that we can foster student success through faculty partnership is by joining us. We are now building an advisory board to support and assist in our area of student support. So if you are interested or have ideas, please reach out to us directly. Faculty participation and feedback is invaluable to our success. Another way we can partner with you is by ensuring our students are exposed to opportunities that are available to them. One tool that we provide to aid in student support is our Virtual Success Lounge. Alex, can you share a little bit about the Virtual Success Lounge?
Absolutely. So the Virtual Success Lounge is an open space, always staffed by success coaches, offered every Tuesday, both at noon and 3:30 p.m. So students can tune in, chat with us. We used it last fall to do kind of themed dates. And what we found is it's better to kind of keep it as an open space. That way, the students who show up can kind of have more of a personalized approach to what they want to talk about. Admittedly, it's been tough to get off the ground in the virtual environment. We're seeing a lot more appointments one-on-one, but this is a great thing to know about and a thing to encourage students to attend. We do partner with the ACA classes, so every student is encouraged to attend the Virtual Success Lounge, but they also have been emailing the Success email account with one goal that they want to tackle. And so that's another way that we've been trying to kind of create some introductory opportunities for all of our students.
Thank you, Alex. We also have workshops. Jennifer, do you want to share a little bit about some upcoming workshops that we have?
Sure thing. So coming up, we have some really good stuff for our students. The first thing that we're going to have is hidden tools of university transfer. We're putting together some great resources for students that are looking to transfer to those four-year universities after they leave CCCC, and just some things to keep them motivated, keep them on the right track, but maybe some little hidden gems that they didn't know about that might be new to transfers with the COVID pandemic, but also maybe what's been out there that they never knew about all this time. So we're excited to be offering that. CTE, Interviewing Skills for Success, we're going to be offering that in April, early April, and that's going to be awesome. You know, these students really could benefit from having those success skills with interviewing and doing the one-on-one workshops. So we're excited about that coming soon. And then, of course, Bring It On Finals, test-taking strategies for student success for mid-April. We have students all the time needing some extra assistance in test-taking strategies, time management, things of that nature, which a lot of times go hand in hand. So we're excited to be offering all of those. And again, as Candace stated, if you ever have an idea of a workshop that you hear from your students from time to time, we would love to hear all about it to offer for future dates.
Thank you, Jennifer. So measures of success, proof is in the pudding. We'll go to the next slide. Awesome, thank you so much. The most recent enrolled student survey that was taken in October showed success coaches with high percentages of student satisfaction. With success coaching, it can be difficult to find a numerical way to measure our overall success, as many parts contribute to a student's persistence and success that are outside of our control. But from our perspective, one of the greatest measures and indicators of success is the feedback from our students. And so this is awesome to read some of the feedback that was left, and I'll just read a little bit to shout out Miss Jennifer Babb. Jennifer Babb has set the bar high for any future success coach. I have so much appreciation for her, and she has helped me out a lot and possibly has no idea of that. I also really love that they are noting coaches as the reason for their success: positive, available, accurate, encouraging, the reason why I am still in class. So the next slides are feedback that was received from student appreciation efforts submitted from Phi Theta Kappa, and this one is about Alex. This past semester, Alex has checked in multiple times and given me words of encouragement when I needed them the most. He has also provided me with a bunch of resources I didn't know existed, as well as helping me with questions I had while completing my last semester. And then this last one is about somebody, I don't know which coach this is, but it says, my advisor keeps me on my toes when I feel lost. She's always an email or phone call away. She understands your struggles and supports you with a positive vibe, positive energy and advice. And through those tough times, she motivates me to finish school and live my dreams because all I do is win. So when we're looking at our measures of success, we really do appreciate and value the feedback that we get from our students, because that is why we as coaches do what we do. It's all about affecting change and supporting our students in their success and throughout their journey. So the proof is in the pudding. And so that is the bulk of the information that we have to share with you today. We hope that you have learned a little bit about success coaching and ways that we can partner together for student success. This is really just the beginning of the conversation. There is so much more that we can talk about and share as we continue to build on this culture of collaboration and partnership with faculty. I have put on this slide the ways that you can contact a coach. That can be your first way to continue this conversation one-on-one, is to get connected with the coaches in your programs. Invite them. Feel free to invite them to meetings that you may have or information sessions about your programs. Share with them ways that they can make an impact with your students. So feel free to reach out to the coaches. If there are any questions, because we have some time, which I'm excited that we have some time, we will definitely take those now.
Candace, I'll read you the first question.
Okay.
If a student were to ask, what's the difference between my success coach and my academic advisor, how would you explain that?
Okay, so I think, that's the common question, right? We always get that, and how to separate the two roles. For us as coaches, we have the ability to have a wraparound service to be able to focus on those particular students, to give them more time in all of the areas in which they need support. Their advisors are able to do amazing work in that same space, but there's also a requirement to meet with your advisors when it comes to your academic work, following your academic plan, getting registered, being advised. Those are the additional pieces that advisors hold that coaches do not. And so it can be sometimes a little difficult because we have amazing advisors at CCCC who do a lot of wonderful things that are just like what we do. But when it comes to the registration, it comes to the advising, it comes to advice about their academic pathway, we are always directing our students for direct communication with their advisors in this space. If anybody else on the team wants to answer that question, I mean, I think it's always worth the conversation and sharing perspectives.
I'll just add a good way I like to explain it too, especially when our students do ask this question, because as Candace stated, we do get it a lot. We are really just an extra layer of support for these students. Obviously, we're not going to turn them away, but we will always, if it is as far as their academic plan, try to direct them in the right direction. And then sometimes they have built that connection and they kind of want to work with us, and we have really good relationships with our academic advisors where we work together to make sure that that student gets best supported. So I really like to always say, well, we're an extra layer of support for you. And those words usually go a long way, and the students seem to connect with that.
Awesome. We got any other awesome questions?
So I don't see any questions yet, but as you all are thinking about questions, I'm going to ask Candace, what is your favorite thing about success coaching at CCCC?
What is my favorite thing? That's a wonderful question, Alex. My favorite thing about success coaching is really having the ability to have an impact on a student's life, and of course their academic environment and experience. And so it's getting to create those connections and getting to know them. I love cheering them on when they meet their goals. I love helping them see the light at the end of the tunnel when they are starting to be bogged down with the things they think they cannot do. And so it's just a real privilege and honor to be in this space where you can encourage and motivate and help students be the best version of themselves, and it's really a joy to be working in that space. So I'm going to toss that to you, Alex. I want to hear what you say. What do you love about it?
I thought you might do that. I think it's very similar. I often think of myself as a mirror, and I'm holding up a mirror to the student, and I'm helping them see the incredibleness that they are. I mean, our students are doing amazing things, and they're juggling so much. Sometimes they need a little help with prioritizing. Sometimes they need a little help with confidence. Maybe they also have never really thought about how to think about approaching life as a student, right? And so, or it's been a minute. So I think a lot of times I feel like I'm a mirror and I'm trying to kind of hold up, I'm trying to get them to talk in a way that kind of elicits that picture of themselves that they can see within themselves what I see in them, which is incredible potential. And everything that you said, just being able to see the progression, you know, a student who's maybe asked to meet with me because of an instructor reaching out, and they kind of feel like they're in trouble, but then they turn out like I'm not a scary person to talk to, and I'm actually, you know, someone who's there to really invest in them. That's probably the most rewarding part, is just to see that progress, like you said, and the growth. I kind of want to hear from JBabs and Trey if they're willing to share.
For me, well, it's all been said, right? But for me, I like to look at it as I sure wish that we would have had success coaches when I was in college, because just making these connections and building these relationships with students. They need you more than they know, right? And as Alex was saying, just it's like seeing yourself in a mirror and seeing yourself go through the struggles that you went through. And so I love being that extra layer of support for each one of these students, and just leading them down the path that they desire and they thrive for while they're here at CC. So that's my most favorite part. Obviously, hearing from them after their journey, you know, I'll still get the occasional email where, hey, Miss Bab, how are you? And it just, it feels good. It feels good to see them succeed, and to know that we are a part of that. And, you know, a very small part, but we are a part of that. And, you know, that's what keeps us going.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's great. So for me, it's pretty much looking at it all. I definitely just enjoy being able to specifically, you know, work with these students, CCCC students in particular, and just really help them grow and really just get to that next level, reach that goal, whether it's a small term goal or whether it's a long term goal. Just being able to connect with them, build relationships with them, just really help them really just reach the best them that they can be, and then just really being able to work with a team who does that. You can bounce off on when it comes to different information and different ideas and things, to be able to really help the students is definitely my favorite part when it comes to this being a success coach, and just really just helping them through the journey over it all, because you know it's a journey. You know, whether you're getting a certificate or whether you're working on an associate's degree or whether your plan is to go on and transfer to a four-year college, you know, it's all a part of your journey, and it's all definitely great and can really just get you to where you need to be depending on what your goal is. So just being that extra support, as the coaches have said, and that person that can just really just help them get there, because you know one person can really, you know, for someone, you could be that one person that could just really change for them and be that advocate for them and just really help them grow. And the students, I just love the part where you talk to them and connect with them. I had a student who called me and we talked about his business plan goals and what he wanted to do and the type of business he want to open, and we had a long conversation about it. We was just talking for a while about it, and it was just naturally, but it just over time, like during our conversation, just being able to talk about what he wants to do and what he wants to become, and the type how he wants to help society. I was just so happy about that, and just being able to offer advice and information and tips and different things on to help him and provide different things. I just love it. So being a coach overall is just great. It's definitely awesome. So I love it, as the other coaches do too. So that's my favorite parts overall.
Thanks, Trey.
Yeah.
Great question, Alex. So I can't see. Are there any more questions in the chat box?
No other questions in the chat box.
Okay, awesome. Well, if you think of a question later on, please feel free to reach out to us. You can reach out to us individually, but if you want to just reach out to the coaches in general, you can always use that success email, success@cccc.edu. So feel free to reach out at any time. We are excited to continue the work and continuing to partner with you. So thank you so much for today and coming and sharing with us. And I hope that you learned something, and you'll see us soon. Have a great day, everyone.